Hey guys, Batman here. Um, I wasn't gonna do this video, um, but this will be my last video about the BAM box from October, the conspiracy theories, the backlash, this internet trolls, the hate mail I'm receiving at an alarming rate right now. I'm receiving on average about 3 to 4 internet trolls per hour right now on various videos. The last probably 3 or 4 I've made, mostly the anything related to Bambox. Um, I've had, I mean, it's just overwhelming the amount of people messaging me on Facebook through Messenger that um, any way they can get in and put their hate out there. They're going through whatever medium they're using, Twitter or what. I mean, I don't use Twitter, but I'm sure there's talk of that. So I guess this video is really just going to address for the last and final time this whole BAM box thing, backlash from the community, and I'm going to address several things here for the last fucking time. I'm sick of this goddamn shit, and I'm going to explain why that is. Hold on, I gotta get more of this fucking coffee. I'm in a bad mood today. Although, I'm not gonna try and come off on like a total prick here. Because I think, I want to make that point first. At first I thought, maybe I came off like a prick. And that's fine if I did come off like a prick, but I've gone back and watched my videos multiple times. Kitty, coffee is not for kitties. You don't like it, don't even get near it. I thought maybe I'm coming off too aggressive. Maybe I'm coming off like an asshole. And I thought, and then I went back and looked at my videos, and I thought, God, no, I'm really not coming off that bad. Yes, I'm opinionated. Yes, I've said some things that could be construed as being mean or singling people out, whatever. And I'll get to that. I'll get to that. But the first thing I want to address is the Bambox nerd block / horror block. But we'll just, for the sake of the community I run into, because by and large no one does nerd block anymore. It's all horror block. Nerd block. Well, sorry. Let's start over. Horror block has put this out there that they will buy back your Bambox and send you a free box from them of your choice. I think, as far as I've read, that's the gist of what horror block / nerd block has put out there. Now, I thought long and hard about this for like the last 4 or 5 days, and I watched some people's videos on their opinion of it. And I before I get to that, I want to thank Worship the Pizzagram. That guy made a video about the situation. He talked about me directly. He did definitely support me in the video, and I give him total props for that. He did in there say he disagreed with some of the things I said, but you know what? I have the absolute respect for that guy because he got on camera and he said it to my face. And Worship the Pizzagram, you're a cool guy. I didn't know you were out there. I wish I had. And I've said this before, I try to keep up with a lot of people's videos, but if you try and follow like 40 people, to try and keep up with content is just impossible. There's just not enough time in the day to sit here and watch every single video from every single YouTuber that I follow. And I do follow a lot of YouTubers. I try and keep up with the main ones that I started out with as much as I possibly can. The other YouTubers that are coming in, it's slow to do that. I only, as much as all of the internet trolls want to think, and as much as probably everyone wants to think that I'm some lazy fucking fat asshole, that's far from the truth. I've always worked as hard as I fucking possibly can to fucking keep a roof over my head, food on the table, and now I'm doing quite well financially. I'm doing better than I have in a long, long fucking time. And my wife has got an exceptional job. Between the two of us, we're making more money than we've ever had, and it's definitely changed our lives for the better. Um, for all you doubters out there who think that I live with my parents, that's absolutely not true. You're just a fucking idiot to think that, you know, at 39 years old, I still live with my fucking mom. That's just fucking stupid. If you know anything, and that brings me to my next point. You have remember that on the internet, you're only seeing a small glimpse of my life. You have no idea. I explained some of this in my last video. I'm not going to go into that unless you have the time to take and go watch that video. I have a lot of stressors in my life. My job is a huge stressor. I mean, you can't even imagine the amount of stress I'm under with my job. I don't have time. I have health issues. I have my lovely wife that I have to make sure she's okay and spend time with her and make sure that our life is perfect, because that's the only person that really matters. Besides my mom and my brother, my wife is the most important thing, and I have to make sure that she's okay and that we're okay. And that's really all this boils down to. Now, that I think is the most overlooked thing on YouTube is you just see these little snippets of videos. You don't see what really goes on in my life. You don't really understand what's happening to me. I talked about my eyes. I'm not going to go into that again. I have enough fucking occupying my mind that I'm not going to sit here and fucking worry about every fucking little thing that's said on the internet about me. You know, like I said, Adam MacArthur from Bandbox wrote that whole huge fucking article about me. He got a bunch of shit wrong in there. And I still stick by this because and that brings me into my next one. I just, horror, wrote an article about me on Facebook. And I had somebody notify me of that right away. She didn't know that. I've known about this all week. But I didn't know she had messaged me on Facebook Messenger and wrote me a whole thing, and so I finally got that today, and that just proves how busy I am. Like, I didn't even know she had written me on Facebook Messenger. I just, until literally today, I woke up today and I was like, oh, something's going on with Facebook Messenger. There's a weird thing, and I had to accept the message and blah blah blah. And I wrote her back, and I'm not going to say what was said in there. Unless if she wants to make a video and address that, that's fine. Like I've always said, if you have a beef with me, make a video. Don't do it in text. You know how I feel about that. I'm not going to go any more about that. What I do is very different from what she does. What I do is very different from what Angry Unboxing Nerd does, or Your Geeky Neighbor, or Johnny Tez, or Anthony Rapino, or Horror Gal, or any of these YouTubers. They all do a little something different. They bring their personality, they bring their interests, they bring a little something different to the table. This is what I bring to the table, and this is what I do. If you don't like it, don't watch the videos, don't follow me. Now, I will say, and I think I did say this before, by and large, the community has been pretty good. Now, in the last 3 or 4 days, the internet trolls are real coming out of the woodwork. Right now, I'm receiving, on average, 3 to 4 internet troll haters on various videos. Probably the last 2 to 3. I'm dealing with 3 to 4 every hour. That's my life right now. I'm constantly having to get on there. I'm not even replying anymore. I'm either deleting it or depending on what they're saying, I'm reporting them. I'm just not going to put up with that shit. I'm not backing down. You want to start a fucking war with me? Anybody on the internet wants to start with war with me on the internet, I will finish it. I'm never going to back down. I will never back down in life. Like I said, the internet is what the internet is, and and this is the only thing I will mention about the conversation that I had with horror is I said to her, you have to stop taking everything on the internet and getting butthurt about it. If I got butthurt about every fucking negative thing that's ever been said to me in my life, outside of the internet or in the internet, I mean, it would drive me fucking insane. Because I did, and this is the other thing I'm going to say. I made the comparison to her. I said, you take a look at yourself and you take a look at me, and you tell yourself deep down, how many times have you had negative things said about you or your looks or anything aspect of your life compared to me? You can take one look at me and know that I've been harassed enough in my life. I've been called every fucking name. You know how many times people have called me fucking fat ass, lard ass, piece of shit, why don't you go fucking hit the gym? You know how many fucking times in my life I fucking heard that shit? I can guarantee you, horror, you have never, you don't even have a glimpse of the fucking bullshit in my life I've had to put up with. And I can guarantee you, horror, you have never had the amount of fucking bullshit in your life as far as people saying negative things about you that I have. The fact of the matter is, you're a very attractive young woman, and that's not to be sexist or misogynistic or to, oh, I'm so obsessed with you. It's no doubt you're an attractive woman. I'm sure you haven't had the struggles that an ugly, fat ginger like me has had to put up with. Now, I'm not trying to look for a pity party. The fact of the matter is, I'll probably get more flack than anyone out of this deal, just because of whatever. Hold on, that's my brother. He can wait. So, whatever. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Me and Horror have written each other. I explained the situation. I think it went as well as it could have gone. And that's it. I'm going to move on. And going back to Worship the Pizzagram, I want to thank him personally for, he made a video addressing the bandbox and what I said video, and he promoted me. But what I loved in there is he did say, I disagreed with some of what he said. And that's the way to do it. If you get on the camera and you say, I disagree with Morgan, or you want to say, I think he's a fucking liar. But if you're going to put it on video and you're going to say it to my face and send me a link, or don't send me a link, I mean, I'm sure I'll find out about it eventually, I'm going to probably go on there and it's probably not going to be a negative comment. I'm probably going to go, thank you for having the balls to step up and say that to my face, and continue to do that in life. Always stand up for yourself, but do it in this platform because it's easy to do. And that, like I said, that brings me back to, if you haven't watched the current season of South Park, you're really missing out on what's really going on in the world. Is everything on the internet is just fake. It's not real life. If you get butthurt over every little fucking thing people say on the internet, it's not for you. Especially not YouTube. There will always be people out there, and like I said before, I believe this is displaced anger. I think that the world is in a lot of, social unrest, and there's a lot of people trying to take their anger out on others, and I think that's a lot of the problem here. But sorry, I'm not fully awake, so I need to track back here to one more thing. I want to go back to the first issue, the Bandbox Nerd Block buyout. Now, a lot of people were very upset about that. I started thinking about that this week, and I thought, here's the problem. People were going, the community seemed split. It was, well, I don't think what Nerd Block and, let's say Horror Block is doing is right, because they're bashing on Bandbox. No, what they're doing and what Arthur thinks he's doing, not Arthur, Adam MacArthur from Bandbox thinks he's doing is marketing, but what actually what Horror Block is doing is marketing. It's no different than Sprint phone companies saying, if you come to us from Verizon, we'll cut your bill in half and we'll pay off your contract. That's marketing. That's competition. What he's getting mixed up with is he's saying by what he did with YouTubers, now he says he only sent stuff out of his personal collection, which is, in my opinion, still fucking unethical. He's saying what he's done is marketing. No. What NerdBlock is doing is marketing. They're saying, if you're dissatisfied with this, we'll go and buy back your band box and we'll send you a free box to try. Nothing wrong with that. That's just competition. But what Bandbox is not saying is, what HorrorBlock and NerdBlock is not saying is, we're going to send you a special box where you may be able to get a chance to get some secret bonus item. They're just saying, we'll send you a regular HorrorBlock and let you try it out. And on top of that, we'll buy back your Bandbox. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. That's business. And it's always going to be cutthroat. That's part of life. That's called capitalism, and that's just the way the world works. And I have no problem with that. Now, what Bandbox did was unethical. Now, I know Adam MacArthur is a liar. I know this for 100% sure. If you want to discredit the two credits of the two people I know in Comic-Con that I've talked to personally about Bandbox, fine. The other one, and I told Horror this, that source is 100% fucking credible, and what they told me opened my eyes to the whole thing. And if you want to believe Bandbox, go ahead. But in the end, I think, if they last another 6, 7, 8 months, a year, eventually someone else is going to figure this out. I'm not going to be the only asshole figuring this shit out. That's the problem. The fact of the matter is, when I made my original Bandbox review video, the fact of the matter is, within 2 days, I had at least 7 posts saying, holy shit, I picked up on something, and I want to see if that's the thing that you picked up on. And at least one of these people was not a normal subscriber to Subboxes in any way. He only got it because it was October, and he wanted to try it out. He has no investment in Subboxes. He was coming in basically impartial, and even he said, holy shit, I've been watching other videos, and I'm picking up a pattern. Now, when I see a pattern, I think, something's not going right here. And that kind of brings me to my last point is, I started overwork. I have a lot of time to think because a lot of my job is walking late at night, so it's very quiet. I have a lot of time to think. And I thought a lot about this. And I've talked mad shit about Loot Crate. My last horror block, I just destroyed the last horror block, even though I have the utmost respect now for NerdBlock and HorrorBlock, because what NerdBlock and HorrorBlock did was, first of all, they didn't write an article about me. Second of all, when I talked mad shit about that box, there was maybe 2 trolls on there. But Bandbox, I get 1 fucking Bandbox, and Adam MacArthur made it out like I had already subbed to them and had already been getting boxes from them. No. I only got October's. That was my first and last. I do 1 review on Bandbox, and the whole goddamn internet and YouTube loses their fucking shit. Now that raises a lot of flags for me. The conspiracy theorist in me goes, all these little things are not fucking adding up, because what I'm seeing is first of all, I'm seeing a lot of fucking lies and a lot of bullshit coming out of Bandbox. I see a lot of YouTubers trying to cover for them. And then the fact that he wants to lie and say that he didn't send out subscription boxes to bigger YouTubers with the premium items, you're a fucking liar. Because if I have fucking YouTubers pick up on that shit within the first 3 days of videos going up, like that 2 to 3 period where they were coming in, and within that period of time, I got 8 or 9 comments saying, "What the fuck? I'm picking up on this. I'm seeing all these huge YouTubers getting all the premium boxes, when the fact of the matter is, everyone should have had the same chance." Now, I didn't major in business or analyzing statistics or any of that shit, but if you add it up, it doesn't make sense. You know, if something stinks, there's probably something rotten there. You know what I'm saying? There can't be this much controversy with Bambox without there being some fucking lies. That's just it. There has to be something going on. And like I told Horror, you can discredit the 2 people from the Comic-Con circuit that talked to me. Fine. I don't know those people super well. I know them well enough. But this other person was 100% fucking credible, and they knew things that no one else could have known. And I know it's the truth, because I know that person's on the up and up. And so I guess what it boils down to is, I know the fucking truth. Whether or not you believe me, and it may take a year for people to find out I was right, and it will come to light eventually. The internet will ruin you, Bambox, eventually. It will. If you continue to be dishonest, if you continue to give preference to bigger YouTubers, and you continue to be stupid about it, you will get caught. Guarantee it. You know what I'm saying? If you go to my other channel, The Process 101, you will see I am all about exposing fucking conspiracies and bullshit and lies. That's my whole life. I've lived in a world where everything is a fucking lie. You know, to quote one of my favorite conspiracy theories and a highly educated man, Jordan Maxwell, nothing in this world works the way that you think it does. And that is the absolute truth. Everything that you think you know is probably not right, because you can't see what's going on behind the scenes on most everything in your life. We live in this world where, this is a famous quote by Timothy Leary, we are dictated, our reality is dictated by the government, the educational system, and the religious organizations. And that is your reality. It's been constructed that way. And you believe everything you've been told. But the fact of the matter is, most of that's a fucking lie. And most of life is a lie. And most of what people get on here and say is a fucking lie. And that's just the simple fact. If you haven't learned that lesson in life, by the time you've reached 30, very much hope for you. Because the world is a fucking ugly place. It really is. For me, what I try and do is come in here and be as honest as I fucking can, as ethical as I fucking can, and not let all this bullshit get to me. Because the fact of the matter is, if I let every little fucking comment get to me, it would drive me insane. Right now, as it comes in, if it's stupidity, I'm just deleting it. If it's harassment, I'm just reporting people. I'm not going to put up with this shit. And it's just boom, report, you're done. The comment's gone. No one's going to see it. It's gone. It's a waste of time. The people who troll the internet must have fucking no life. Because for me, I have way more shit to do. That's why I would love to crank out more videos from my other channel. The fact of the matter is I work. I got a wife. I got health problems. I got all sorts of shit in my life. It's way more fucking stressful than worrying about what people on the internet think about me that I'm probably never going to meet. And that's it. That's the gist of it. Is I'm not going to sit here and stress about every fucking thing. The people that know me from the beginning know I'm on the up and up. I have never done rant videos up until this fucking bullshit. I mean, you can't even imagine the amount of hate mail I've gotten over this shit. And that's what raises my flag, is something fishy is going on here. I mean, even when I attacked Loot Crate full force, I never got the backlash from the community that I got now. We're talking Loot Crate, which everybody at the time was subscribing to. I think maybe I got 3 hate mails, or comments. But then I say one bad thing about one bandbox, and like, it's just flood. I mean, every day it's just flooding my fucking email notifications of fucking somebody posting some fucking stupid ass shit on there. Fucking, like I said, I'm dealing it right now on an average of 3 to 4 an hour. And it's just getting fucking old because it's tying up my goddamn phone. And it's really fucking pissing me off. I'm just so sick of this shit. It's just so fucking stupid. Here's the other thing too, and I'm going to end on this one. All these subscription boxes, if you think about it, like let's say you get Horror Block, Parcel of Terror, and what's the there's Horror Block, Parcel of Terror, the Horror Pack, I think it's the one that comes with Blu-rays, 4 Blu-rays, and there are a couple other ones. But if you quit all your subscription box and took all that money, and I guess this seems like I'm promoting only Butchovision anymore, but if you took the whatever it cost you, $80 probably to get all that shit every month, $90 maybe even, and you took $90, went to Butch's site, which is predominantly got lots of horror stuff, because that's a lot of the community that is following me, and that's a lot of what I'm involved in. If you took $80 and bought nothing but Butchovision stuff, made a huge order, I guarantee it, the amount of stuff you're going to get will outweigh everything you've gotten from those subscriptions. It will make them look like shit you got from the goddamn Dollar Tree. Because the fact is, this is a quality fucking shirt. And guess what? This is fucking huge. It's a fucking huge size. When you go over 3X or 3X or up, most companies charge you $2 to $3 in sizes. Guess what Butch doesn't do? Every shirt's the same fucking price. He uses high quality shirts. The screen printing is fucking super high quality. And everything he sent me is high quality. Plus all the bonus shit you get. So you put in a huge order with Butch for, let's say even $60. He's going to kick you down a bunch of shit probably. I'm not guaranteeing that, but he's probably going to throw in some free... I'm going to go out on a limb. You've seen enough of my videos. He's probably going to throw in some free items. So you're going to get your money's worth. And I put that challenge out to anybody. In fact, I'll put out a Butchovision challenge myself. You send me $80, I'll fucking curate a box for you. You tell me your interests, I'll curate a box for you, and I guarantee it's going to be better than anything you're going to get for the entire month from all the other horror subscription boxes. And that's just the fact of the matter. If you start adding up all the little things you get, none of it adds up to the money that you've spent for the total month. That's the thing. That's why I stopped doing horror, subscription boxes. It's just like none of this is adding up to anything significant. When if I took all that money, which I have, and I put it into something like Butchovision or other people, Anthony Rapino at Candy Corn Apocalypse, which I've yet to get my hands on anything because it sells out so fast. But any of these things, you're going to get way more out of it than you will with subscription boxes. I wish more people could pick up on this, that you're just getting... No, don't get me wrong. Over the past year, there's been some great Horror Block items, and Horror Block, by and large, still does fairly well. Even though I trashed the last one, there was many more before that in the last, let's say the 6 previous months to it, that had great fucking solid boxes. They gave away Turbo Kid on Blu-ray. They gave away Deathgasm. They gave away The Editor. I mean, those were high-quality fucking Blu-rays that were expensive at the time. Those were great boxes. Don't get me wrong. Horror Block still has, and Nerd Block still has my support, because I feel like they don't go after the community that talks badly about them. And by and large, for some reason, no one, when I talk shit about Horror Block, came after me. But when I talk about Bambox, you all fucking lost your goddamn shit. Now, what I think is happening is I think Bambox is getting people to do this. I think there's some outside sources coming in to attack me. I think they're trying to get my videos down. I think Bambox is trying to get my videos down. And I think that they're working as hard as they can to try and clean up this fucking PR mess that they've made between October's and November's fucking boxes, which were complete travesties in my opinion. And if you weren't mad about October's and November's, there's something wrong, because those were horrible. Absolutely fucking horrible. Yes, the Linda Blair was cool, but it doesn't justify the rest of the fucking box. So, with that said, this is the last video I'm talking about Bambox. Never going to mention it again. Believe what you want to believe. Don't believe me, I don't care either way. I think in the end, it will come to light. Bambox will end up failing in the end. All of this shit will come to light eventually, with or without me, and people will find out, fuck, I was duped. I hope that people wise up to that. If you don't, no hard feelings. You know, like I said, Horror trash. Well, she didn't trash me, but she wrote a huge article on Facebook about me. And like I told her, I'm still sub to you. You know? I'm not going to be bitter. I'm not going to be the person who gets spiteful and unsubscribes to somebody like that just because she went and, replied to it. I still want to hear her opinion on things. I still want to hear a lot of different people's opinions on things. But, like I've always said, you got something to say about me, you make a fucking video, and you say it to my goddamn face. Now that's my fucking problem. You don't go on fucking Facebook behind my back and fucking shit talk me. And then and of course it got right back to me right away. So I've known about this all fucking week. But, like I said, no hard feelings, horror. But you want to trash talk me, you get on here and you make a rant video. Now, whether or not that fits into your channel or whatever, and even if you get a little backlash for making a video like that, stand up and do it. And do what's right. Because if you're going to shit talk somebody, I can guarantee it, if you do it on a video, I'm going to be respectful about it. Because I don't go around on the internet talking shit about people unless I do it in a fucking video. And that's how I'm doing things, and everybody knows that. So with that, I will digress. I didn't want to make this a super long video. It probably already is getting into that super long video territory. But like I said, like I told her on there too, just remember this. Don't get butthurt about every goddamn thing that people say on the internet about you. It's just fucking stupid. If you haven't been watching this season of South, everybody go and watch this season of South Park because it's on point. Although this is the first season I've ever disagreed with South Park, because they finally mentioned, they have never offended me ever. I think everything they do is on point. This season, though, they made a point of saying that Star Wars The Force Awakens wasn't really that good. First time we've disagreed, and I'm a little pissed off at South Park about the bashing on Star Wars, because I think, now this is going to sound really shitty, you can make fun of every major religion, every pop star, you can make the most offensive shit ever. But Star Wars is a little more sacred to people, I think. It's like Trekkies. When you're a Trekkie, it's... don't fucking come at us with that, South Park. That was a low blow. You want to make fun of the prequels all day, I fucking agree. But you don't attack The Force Awakens. I'm sorry, J.J. Abrams fucking nailed that movie. If you want to call it, it's just A New Hope, whatever. But guess what? I liked A New Hope. And if I have to live that again, great. Because it was actually awesome. Stormtroopers actually hit people. Sorry, South Park. But Force Awakens was really fucking amazing. And I'm super stoked for Rogue One. I'm going to see that opening night. So, that's it, guys. This is my last rant about Bandbox. Well, however you feel about Nerd Block and the Bandbox thing, whatever. That's your choice to think that way. I think if you dig into, I think if there are doubters about the fact that Bandbox gave preference, go back and look at October's videos. Start watching all of them. Search them. Watch them. Do your own research. Figure it out for yourself. Because I wasn't the only one that picked up on this, and I'm not the only one that made the same exact video calling them out on this. So, that's it, really, guys. I'm rambling again. Sorry. I'm a little perturbed about this. So, and I have all the right to be. I've been receiving some pretty heinous fucking threats via messenger. Not horror. I just want to clarify that, not horror, but I have been receiving some pretty fucking serious threats. Not that I'm scared by any means, but I've been getting some pretty fucking nasty, pretty borderline. If I turn that stuff in, that might be considered criminal actions. So I've gotten a lot of backlash this, but I'm resilient and I don't give a fuck, and it's just gonna roll off. But it's been tough going through all this shit just because I've never had this sort of backlash ever since I've started my channel. So I hope that everybody has a great Christmas. I probably have one more video before Christmas is over. But if I don't see you before that time, I hope everybody has a great Christmas. I hope that everybody that I've talked about isn't too offended anymore, and just get over it. It's the internet. Stop being butthurt. It's not really real. It's not real. It's just, this is me talking on the internet, and like South Park said, the whole internet could crash and all this shit could disappear and nobody will ever know about it. So remember that. Anyway, guys, have a great weekend. We'll see you later.